Hey guys, this is Mark with A Student of Life. In this video, I'm going to break down what I took with me for 12 months worth of traveling, which is basically one big backpack and one small one. And stay tuned till the end of this video so you also know what you can take with you, what's useful, what's not useful, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks. All right, guys, we're gonna break up everything into categories just so you understand how to best pack for your travels. At least if it's for 12 months and up to 20 countries, or even if it's 3 months, it doesn't matter. You want to be well prepared and you want to make sure that you have everything you need so that you're not dealing with any emergencies while traveling, and that you've pre-planned everything to fit exactly to what you need. So we're going to start here and work our way to the right and then get to what's on the bed over there. We're gonna start with the shoes. I highly recommend that you guys buy hiking boots, waterproof hiking boots. I got the Skechers Goodyear hiking boots. I've walked hundreds of miles with these boots, and they're still they're in pretty messed up condition, but they're still okay. You would need to change out the soles inside after a while, just because they do get pretty worn out. The next thing I bought were these, I don't know what to call, deodorizers, I guess, for shoes. It's to make sure that your shoes stay dry after a day's worth of walking, and that way the shoe itself, the smell in the shoes isn't reeking of feet. It just stays clean. The next thing I brought with me were some dress boots for just going out to bars or clubs or lounges, or just wherever, just going to nice places. I've barely worn this because most of the time I'm always doing touristy stuff, so I'm always wearing the hiking boots, but it's always good to have a pair of just nice boots when you want to go out and socialize and party and drink, or just be out and look nice. So in terms of backpacks, I took with me two types of backpacks. I took with me a regular backpack, or regular sized backpack. This is a Patagonia, but this backpack is maybe like 7 years old. And then I took with me a camper backpack, which, let me look at the brand. It's a Tripole that I bought off Amazon during Black Friday about a year ago. And this is about 100-liter camper backpack, and it basically has fit all of this, and it comes out to be about 17 kilos roughly, which I believe is about 34 pounds. So it can carry your entire life for about a year, given that you're okay with wearing the same shit every day. But let's kind of go over this. So this is a detachable feature of the backpack. This is where I put my electronics, and I put this bag in that backpack so that I'm keeping things compressed, and also because I want to keep my electronics on me. I don't want to put this or send this in the belly of the plane. I want to keep all the valuables on me, and also to be able to use my electronics while on flight. Let's kind of break it down here. So there's a nice big pocket inside here where you can store, this is generally where I store my dress clothes or my socks. And then in here, zoom this out, in here is where I basically put all of these clothes, and it all fits perfectly. On the sides, you've got some pockets. This is where I put like miscellaneous things, also where I put socks and underwear, but I also put my locks, my wallets, my some accessories, my jump rope, my camera, and some other things. And if you're interested, I'll include the link of this below. It's been super helpful in my travels. Next, I have a toiletry bag that I take with me. This basically keeps all of my hygienic stuff, and all the toiletries that I put in there are right here. So I've got my hair tie, because I've got long hair, a couple nail clippers, and one thing I would advise when you're traveling is when you buy nail clippers, don't buy them with there's like a sharp piece that can like come out so you can clean your nails, like dig inside of the nails. You don't want that. You just want, I guess on the internet you can just search for like travel clippers, and it won't include the sharp object that like comes out like this and you can just dig under your nails. I've got my floss, which you'll be buying on the way as you need. These are super important. These are locks that I bought with me, that you will need on your travels, and you need them to be thin locks so that they can fit universally in hostels around the world. I've never had any issues using these locks in any hostel. Like, they fit every size and they're pretty secure, and then you can set the code to whatever you want it to be, to make sure that everything is fine. Some Vaseline, this is for moisturizing lips, or it could be for cuts. I always take things in pairs of two, so 2 toothbrushes, 2 toothpastes. I have my clippers for shaving, my hairbrush, my cologne, Happy Nuts. Even though it's kind of funny, this is basically for humid conditions, and also to avoid chafing, because a lot of the countries that I traveled to were hot and humid, and I was doing a lot of walking, so I wanted something, a powder, to basically help me with all that walking and avoid any chafing. And here also the bigger version of these. I carry extra of these that I put in that bag. Happy Nuts. Deodorant, and then some masks that I take with me. And that's pretty much what I have in my toiletry bag. The next thing, and it's not critically important, but something I would recommend, is just buying a first aid kit with you. This gets clipped into my travel bag, and it's just carried with me, but it basically has all the things that you would need just in case you have minor wounds or cuts. So alcohol wipes, bandages, some gauze wrap, a tourniquet, that's a gauze wrap, and just some other basic things to avoid any minor injuries that you would need. And I would highly recommend to take one with you, especially if you're traveling for a while, because shit happens. You get your hands and fingers cut, you fall sometimes and scrape yourself. So make sure to get a first aid kit with you. They're not that expensive. I think this one was maybe like $10 or something like that on Amazon. The next critical piece that I would recommend or advise is to buy yourself a fanny pack. Personally, I like the JanSport brand because it's reliable, and I'm a 90s kid, so that's kind of why I bought it. But your fanny pack is basically where you're carrying all of your little items. So in here I keep, especially when I'm traveling, I'll keep my passport just to, when I'm traveling through airports, so I have access to it immediately. Right now I have my international driver's license in here. In this little pocket, I keep my cash as well as some credit cards. And then in here I keep the keys for the condo, the keys for the motorcycle, and some paperwork just in case I get pulled over by the police, like my international driver's license. Or when you're traveling and you are carrying a little water bottle, it's good to just open this up, put it in here, and you don't have to carry anything in your hands. And it also helps with carrying your phone, wallet, and anything else that you need. It's super useful and handy, and I highly recommend you take this with you while traveling. So in terms of clothes, there's not really a science to it. I think I just wanted things to be balanced. So I took with me
two long pants, two nice long pants for whenever I go out, one pair of swimsuit for if you're a beach person, which I'm not really, but I bought that on the way. And then a good number of dressy clothes. So I took with me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 dressy clothes or nice clothes. And you just want that as an option for when you're traveling, just so when you go out, you just feel comfortable and you look nice. This is basically the clothes that I've worn majority of the time, and you would use them over and over again. This is basically like your sports clothes, because you're going to be doing a bunch of walking, you're going to be sweating a lot, and you just want to be comfortable when you're out during the day and exploring different things. So I took with me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 items, or 7 sporty clothes. I have another one in the laundry bag that I will show, which actually it's right here. And this is something I highly recommend you take with you while traveling, so that you can organize and categorize your dirty clothes with the clean clothes. And it also helps you kind of visualize, like, all right, if this bag's halfway full and I'm about to leave in a bit, like maybe I should just do the laundry. Maybe I should just go to a laundromat and clean my clothes, so that way I have clean clothes for the next week or the next country that I'm going to. But highly, highly, highly recommend getting yourself a laundry bag. Okay, to match the sport clothes, these are the shorts that I worn most of the time. I'm actually wearing another one on me right now. So I have 4 in total. Personally, I should have maybe gotten 5. But you're going to be reusing these shorts a lot, especially when you're traveling hot countries or warm countries and humid countries, and you're going to be doing a lot of walking and running to the bus or the train station. And I got these later in my travels, but I found these to be super useful. They basically have like a layer underneath to kind of like stick to your thighs, and they keep you cool. So if you can find these kind of shorts, they do help out, especially with friction as well, versus wearing your boxers and going in the heat. These are just casual clothes that I took with me. I also took these with me to wear during the day while walking a lot. These are not really going out clothes. These are just casual clothes that you're fine just sweating in and being in public with. I only took with me about 4 or 5 of those, and they're just t-shirts. All right, let's talk about hats. I got this later in my travels, but basically when you're doing your pre-planning, you do want to plan for the sun. And so I got with me a bucket hat to basically help with long distances of walking, especially when doing outdoor things or you're out in the city. It really helps with just blocking the sun itself and just avoiding, I don't want to say heat strokes, but just headaches from the sun, and also burns and getting exposed by the sun itself. This is my French beret that I just take with me. I've rarely worn it, but when I do, it's just whenever I go out. And I personally like berets, so it's kind of my thing. And then the last thing that I bought, because I went to Germany during the winter, or this was a gift from my lady, is a thick beanie that I would recommend, especially if you're going to go to cold countries. And I'm going to be going to Bhutan and Nepal soon, so in the winter. So this definitely comes in handy. All right, next thing is a belt, just one belt that I took with me. And then initially I took these, or bought these wallets. They were like, I think $5 or $7 in total. The reason I bought these is because in my head, I thought I was gonna want to have decoy wallets in my fanny pack just in case, or maybe not in my fanny pack, but in my pocket, just in case that someone was gonna come and rob me, but that just never happened, and they were in a way just useless. But still recommend it. It's a good self-defense trick where if you carry a decoy wallet with you and someone wants to rob you, you can just throw this on the ground and run away while you keep your money on you and with you. Let's see. If you're sleeping at hostels, then it really depends on you, but these are some you plug these in your ears basically to cancel out any noise, and I've never used them. I've basically slept through every hostel, all kinds of hostels, dirty ones, clean ones, loud as fuck ones where they're partying till 3 a.m. and I would just sleep through the music, so I've never really had to use these. Sunglasses, again, 90s kid, so I'm kind of into the retro sunglasses, just one pair. These are resistance, excuse me, these are resistance jump ropes, and the reason I got them is just to stay fit while I travel, on top of like all the walking that you're gonna do, because I lost about, I believe 20 pounds in 3 months time because of a lot of walking, but this is just to stay conditioned and fit. And the reason I chose thicker ropes is because I did want some form of resistance training outside of calisthenics. If you do 30 minutes of jump rope a day or every other day, you're solid. Socks. So I didn't really care about having different kinds of socks. I just cared about having comfortable socks that were padded on the sole, so it makes it easier to walk with. And also I wanted socks that weren't like tied to my ankle, they were just a little bit above my ankle, just for more comfort. And I took with me about 10 socks, which will last me through a couple countries until they need to go through the cycle of washing. And then for underwears, I basically bought the same underwear except this one. These are from bamboo material and they're super comfortable. I bought them also during Black Friday. And I think I have about 15 in total. I highly recommend them. They're super thin. Let me just unwrap one. They're really thin and they're really comfortable. And the fabric itself is very soft, and it also reduces friction. And again, I think 90 to 99% of this is what's it called? Let me just lay it down here. 90 to 99% of this is bamboo material, so it's also sustainable if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Over there, we got a rainproof jacket that I highly recommend you take with you. Even if you're going to warm countries, it could rain a lot, especially like during monsoon season in Southeast Asia. Actually, that's a lie. Latin America, I use that more than Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia, I just wore a plastic poncho over me. But it's still useful to have a rainproof jacket on you, just in case. And then I have one sweater on me, just in like in case things get cold or when I go to cold countries. And that also reminds me that I forgot to bring this out, is to have one thick winter jacket that I would roll up and clip it on to my carry-on backpack, so it's not really a big deal when I'm walking around in the airport with it. I don't carry it on my hand, it's just clipped on my backpack. But I highly recommend taking one winter jacket with you, because you don't know when the weather will change or if the country you're going to is getting cold or whatever the deal is, but just stay prepared. All right, and finally, these are all my electronics that I took with me. Um, and it depends on what you want to accomplish. So this is for plugging in my SD card from my big camera, my digital camera, and then just some extra charging cables. In this one, I brought a mouse, my Logitech camera for vlogging on the computer, a headset, an extra iPhone charger, always pairs of two. That's super important to know. My pen for the Surface, and in this one, it's basically my microphone things. I have two mics and the plugs towards the microphones. If you're an American, well, if you're not traveling to America, but if you're an American, I highly recommend getting an adapter piece for just different types of plugs and plugins, because you'll 100% need it in different countries. And there's just different types out there. This one can also charge your phone with a USB plug. Pairs of twos, so I brought another one with me just in case. Extra headphones, again, pairs of two. These are two chargeable battery banks. I only take one at a time when I'm traveling, but to be honest, I've rarely had to use these, but it's good to have them for just the extra juice for your battery. And one thing I do recommend before you travel is to check the battery life of your phone, and to make sure that it's above 90%. That way you don't have to spend your time charging your phone as you travel, because you'll be using Google Maps a lot and other applications which can drain the battery. So one trick I would recommend is just changing your phone battery before you travel, so that it's a brand new, fully charged and healthy battery. I think this is a 2022 Surface. I forget which version this is, but it's basically a terabyte of storage, and I believe it's 8 gigs of RAM or 12 gigs of RAM. I can't remember, but it's a high-end Surface that I bought on purpose because I needed something compatible while traveling.
Alright guys, I hope you liked the video. This video basically summarized everything that I took with me for 12 months worth of traveling. I hope you found it useful, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.